a kid who's been injured, didn't play the whole last season from Canada.
He tore both patella tendons at the same time. So it's one of the worst injuries I've definitely ever seen.
Before this, I didn't think D1 was in my picture. That was my biggest fear. Right away, I'm very high up.
Uh-huh.
My plant foot's way out of my frame. Being ground is non-existent. Definitely a lot more clean.
Holy crap, he actually looks like a D1 player. And this one paid off kind of like 10 times for us. Actually, to the point where, if I'm being honest, as a parent, I kind of want to do it again or do more of it.
Where were you when we first started and we first got on that call?
Technique wise, I didn't like fully know. I mean, obviously I know so much more now, but back then I didn't fully know a lot of things. I kind of just knew the mechanics of how to break, like the most basic ones. And that was kind of it. Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about your injuries when we first talked, like where you were at with that.
Yeah, so 10 weeks is quite a bit for rehab. So, I mean, when I was there, I could barely run. Like I could do just mainly like a little jog.
Mhm.
And I mean, compared to now, it's a very, very big difference. Because like back then, I could just do like a little jog, breaking off my leg hurt a little bit, like it didn't feel great.
Mhm.
So it was definitely quite a bit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like one of the first plays at ball camp, and then he.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of the first reps at practice. It was the first practice too.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
that's crazy. Before working together, what had you tried before? When you were healthy, at least. Did you go to camps, trainers? Were you looking at lots of social media?
Yeah, so I did go to quite a few camps. I mainly went to like Canadian camps because I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think like before this, I didn't think D1 was in my picture.
Mhm.
And now that has definitely changed. But I mainly went to like Canadian camps. I trained with my strength and conditioning coach, and he knows quite a bit, but it's like obviously not nearly compared to you.
Mhm.
So that was like the main training I did. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and then when you were training alone, did you look at Instagram videos or YouTube and try to like replicate it?
Yeah, there was definitely a couple of times where I just saw some drills and I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be good. And then I would kind of just try and do them. And I mean, I was probably wrong on doing them because I didn't really know what I was doing. It was kind of just like, oh, this should help. I mean, I'm getting work in. So that was kind of it.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned a little bit about before the program, you didn't know if D1 was a possibility. And then I know you talked about your injury. At that point, before we worked together, was there anything you were afraid wasn't going to happen or change?
I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to play as to what I wanted to play at, like the level that I wanted to play at. I was afraid that because of my injury, I would just not get back or to get to that level that I want to be in order, to go D1. And that was, I think, like my biggest fear. And that's what kind of made me think like, yeah, D1's probably not in the future. But as I said, it's changed.
Yeah. For Michael, Dad, what was it like watching him go through all this? I know this is his second time, right? Maybe even
Yeah,
third.
so he tore both patella tendons at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's one of the worst injuries I've definitely ever seen. At the time, you usually do one and, or maybe you have an ACL and then something down, but it was crazy that both happened at the same time. Pretty horrific accident. And I was really concerned even when we were doing rehab and all that, and we were working with physios and stuff, but I was concerned that he wouldn't be able to do this type of training that we've picked up with you. I think a lot of times my hesitation in the beginning was like, oh man, how are we going to do this? And it was true through the whole time. You kind of showed us how we could break it down in the beginning and do it a little slower, which was perfect for him because he needed to be slower so he could understand it. But it also helped with the rehab as well because then he was able to do it slower, get the technique up. And then when he could start going a little faster, it just seemed like he caught on quicker. So to see him go through the whole thing, like he said, I mean, before we started this, he was just starting to like kind of jog and that was like ahead of schedule. So for me it was like amazing to see that too. I'd go out and film him, spend time watching him a little bit, and all of a sudden he's doing breaks and all that, and once again not at the level where he wants to be at, but like people don't understand how far that is in a very short time. It's pretty amazing. So now it gave him the confidence, not even as like, okay, I'm getting way better, I'm understanding what coach is saying and technique is breaking down, I'm also getting better and I can feel that I can actually do this, where before I don't know if he knew if he could do it or not, and this kind of gave him like that insight that, oh yeah, no, I can do this, and gave him that confidence.
100%. And before finding me working with us together, like what had you already dabbled in? Like whether it is the development side or the recruiting side, like any other thing you invested in?
Yeah, we invested in a recruiting service, and they were kind of helping me, reach out to these schools and just helping me find out which camps I should and which camps I shouldn't go to, whether that's like being personally invited to compared to just a big blast email. And then I have also worked with Pick Six Athletics, and that was training. He would usually come out here every summer because he's all the way in Ontario, and we would train for like a week usually to get me into shape and just to get my technique up again. And those were the two main ones that
We go to camps as well. We've been down to the States and through Canada just for, certain college camps that we've picked. And then, I'd say beside that is strength and conditioning and working with a strength and conditioning coach. And then there are coaches that work out here a little bit, but they're not like specialized in, I would say, really DB. It's more of just like
overall.
yeah.
Kind of.
How was it working with that side of things? And then what was the moment you guys decided to reach out?
When I decided to reach out, I saw your posts and stuff, and I was following you for quite a bit. And I was like, I mean, he seems like he's pretty good, like judging from the people you trained, what you did, like how you trained. I mean, I learned quite a bit from your like the Instagram reels that you would post and stuff. Like I learned quite a bit from those. And I just decided, I saw that you're like, hey, I'm taking people like from the public, and I'm like, oh, I think I should jump on to this because I just was missing that edge, I guess you could say, of for like technique wise. And that's kind of what made me jump the gun and message you. And yeah.
I think as a parent, I appreciated, just like I said, I came from a martial arts background. So someone can throw a jab, but I used to sit there sometimes and work with people for like 30 minutes straight on just their jab or an hour. Like you can really get detailed, and it's really important to do the basics right. And I felt like that resonated with me, what I saw on your stuff, where it's kind of hard to find someone to sit there and dissect every part of the drill and specifically tailored for an individual. Like usually that takes a lot. And I haven't seen, like, it's common in martial arts or something, you know, if you want to learn how to strike, you go to the striking coach. You want to learn how to wrestle, you go to the wrestling coach. But we didn't really have that for the DB aspects and the techniques. So when I saw you did that, I thought that was a pretty big differentiator. And the only thing I was like a little cautious of, oh, can this actually be done online, and is it going to be valuable? And actually you said it, and then I would agree, it was actually even better sometimes because we could film it and then go through it step by step, and then he could make adjustments, and then do the next day he could change from those adjustments you made. And you were so detailed on it, I just felt like it took it to the next level. Instead of just being broad and vague, it was extremely tailored and detailed towards him.
Sorry, I forgot to say one more thing too. When I saw like your page and I saw how you started playing your freshman year and like how you moved from Korea with no football, anything, right? Like, you know, no offense, but like you weren't that freak athlete and you still made it D1. And I think that was kind of like, oh wow, this guy still made it and he still did well. And quite a few odds were kind of stacked against him. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Similar boats, right? With you being injured right now, which means you missed your whole year of film. Another hesitation you kind of mentioned was about the injuries, right? How can he get better online? So there was a little hesitation there. So it was like a lot of things, but looking back on it now and seeing where we're at, it's just cool to see that. But now we're going to get a little bit into like the development side. So Mike, walk me through what the first thing we worked on together, like what it was like.
The first thing we focused on were breaks and my technique for breaking. And it was pretty noticeable how many things I was, I guess, like doing wrong, or like just how many extra steps I was taking and how unclean, I guess it was, is the word. And the first week we identified quite a few things. It was like, oh wow, like that is a lot of things. And then I learned like a lot. And it was like almost like a side that I didn't even like know about, especially being from where I lived. So I think it was definitely like kind of like an eye opener, and it was like, oh wow, like I was definitely not doing this right.
Yeah. That's like a common thing a lot of people say, because like there's something called the known unknown. You know what you're not doing right, but there's also the unknown unknown, which means you don't know what you don't know. Sometimes you just don't know what you're missing. That's why we always do the evaluation first. Like you said, there was some stuff, but we easily fixed it, right? It's all fixable mistakes. Mike, was there a week started to click all together?
I think it was definitely just over time. I kind of was like started to understand it more and more, and then like especially with the techniques, it kind of just became muscle memory. For example, after like the first couple of weeks, my gain ground, like I obviously wasn't as good the first couple of weeks, and then it got better over time, and I didn't have to think about it as much when doing the break, so then I could focus on something else. And yeah, like I think it was just over time I was started to just understand it. It kind of just clicked after the first couple of weeks. I was like, oh, this makes sense. And like I will say too, like when you explained it, it made sense pretty immediately, because it was kind of like, oh yeah, why wouldn't I do that? You know? So I would say like over time, but like when I fully was like, oh yeah, this all makes sense, was like maybe on week 3, like around there.
The first 2 weeks, like there was a point where it was harder before it got easier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
It was a little frustrating, I would say, for first, and like almost overwhelming, where you're like, oh my God, like it's like relearning something. And then all of a sudden, I would agree with him, by week number 3, he looked like he stopped thinking so much and it just started happening. Right.
Yeah. Was there something surprising pointed out in your film?
I'd say I didn't notice it, but I stepped in the bucket. I took a lot more steps than I needed to. For example, when I was breaking on a 45, it'd take me like 2 steps. Like my gain ground step would be right beside my plant step. So it was like just extra steps. And I didn't really notice it. Like even when I did take videos and I didn't notice it like before. And once you like pointed it out, I was like, oh yeah, I actually do that a lot.
For sure. And overall, just how was this different from what you had done before?
Well, obviously it was a lot more like intricate. It was like a lot more stuff that you taught me, and it was a lot of just the small details, and that's what football is. 1 inch can be between a pass breakup and a pick, so I think like those small details, it's really hard to find that. I mean, especially where I live in like BC, right? It's nearly impossible to find that, just to get those super small breakdowns and to fix everything to the point where it's like, okay, you have the same technique as like an NFL player.
Yeah, that's a big thing we talked about a lot.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
We're gonna pull some of it up soon. Let's just talk results now. Where are you now compared to week 1?
I'm definitely a lot more ahead technique wise, IQ wise as well. Just overall, I definitely improved, and it was pretty cool how much I improved in 10 weeks. And I'm definitely a lot further ahead than where I was on day one. Like I've even noticed that from the things you taught me, like just certain football IQ, like I have football class I do. And I noticed some of the guys where they get like torched or something. I noticed I'm like, oh yeah, they didn't do that right. Or the break was sloppy or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I've progressed a lot, obviously, like physically, like with my rehab, as you said, but I think mentally, football IQ wise, and then also just confidence. I feel more confident because I know the tools now, like I know the blueprint, I guess, and now I just have to apply it and get good at it.
Right. Yeah.
Things I noticed too is people would just be like, get faster or whatever, right? And it was just very vague. And of course, everyone wants to be fast, but you could be fast and still not doing the correct stuff or getting there when you're supposed to be and all that. There's lots of fast kids that don't get that pick or aren't in the right spot or still mess up. So it was kind of cool to see from like a parent spot where like I felt like it's gonna sound funny, like he got faster, but it wasn't faster. It was just the technique was so much better that he was able to do it cleaner and it made him quicker, like just on certain movements I could see it where it was like, oh, that's clean, that's sharp. And he said it earlier, but I think it's really cool as a parent too when you feel your own kid like, oh, he just felt he did that wrong and he felt the mistake, which before he'd even know, like you said, you don't know what you don't know. So before you wouldn't even know, and now he could fix it himself and then redo it. And it's not always going to be perfect like every time you do it, but he knew what he was doing wrong, so he could fix it, and then it'd come out so clean, so fast that I'm like, holy crap, he actually looks like, like a D1 player, like he could go to college, like it's looking so much better where that makes all the difference in the world. I think, if you want to be fast, you got to have the proper technique, right? And that's what this did.
That's like a big thing I harp on is you can run faster without running faster by your technique, by seeing the field faster, which means like football IQ, right? Dissecting the play before it comes. That's the biggest things I always try to tell guys is sure, like you could always get faster physically, like you said, but there's other ways you could maximize your potential and your capabilities for sure. Before I pull up the film, Mike, for you, like how do you feel going into this next season? I know obviously you missed the previous year with an injury. Do you feel like a different player now?
Yeah, so before I was definitely a lot more nervous because I was like, I'm gonna be rusty because I wouldn't have played in a year. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be rusty and I'm not gonna be able to like train as much and my off season's gonna be a lot shorter because I can't train as hard as the other guys. But after doing this, I definitely feel a lot more confident. I feel like I have a lot better of a toolbox now compared to before. And I feel like I just have to refine my toolbox and then just apply it.
Now I'm just gonna pull up the presentation. It's gonna show your week zero. Like before we work together, Mike, you're gonna break down what you see. It's gonna show you week 1 versus week 10 breaks, week 1, week 10 press, IQ, all that stuff. So the film you're about to see right now is what I asked you to send me. Your baseline film. I told you obviously before the injury when you were healthy. I said send me how you move, good and bad, so we could dissect your mechanics in general, your technique, breaks, going at different angles, press. I try to add everything I could. Tell me what you see as we play this video, okay?
Right away, I'm very high up.
Uh-huh.
My plant foot's way out of my frame,
Uh-huh.
and my gain ground is non-existent.
Well, yeah, right. And then stands too a little bit, right, with the like you said, but with also the arms. I know that's a big thing I talked about with you.
Yeah, no, yeah. My
Yeah,
arms is like at the elbows, like
right. And then it's that like T-shaped T plant coming forward, right? Like we talked about how your foot should be in different angles.
yeah, it
Um,
should be a bicycle step.
and then talk to me about these right here. Oh, yeah, I just try to put different angles, but let's see. Boom, boom.
Not great gain ground
Uh-huh.
for sure.
Same things here. And then talk to me about your crossover breaks right here. What do you see in your stance,
I'm
footwork?
I'm very like leaned back.
Right,
Like I'm not like keeping my shoulder dipped. My shoulder's like this compared to where it should be like
right.
slanted.
Uh-huh.
Um, my crossover steps are very like long almost.
Yeah, right. And then arms a little bit out, right? We talked about tighter arms too.
Yeah,
And then this break was
very rounded.
right. Exactly. And like you know how to fix it now, obviously. But
Oh,
these are
yeah.
some like the unknown unknowns we talked about. Like how do you not round your break, right? How do you get out the break faster? And then this is a little bit of press. Like tell me what you knew about press before playing, in Canada and
Barely
stuff.
anything. I'm gonna be honest.
You said barely?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
barely anything. Like we
Yeah.
in my high school, we barely press, so it's
And that's something big that you need to know, especially if you want to play in the college level in America, right? Like it's almost always press.
Mhm.
80%. So yeah, it's just like the angle of the kicks, the footwork, everything. Like
Yeah,
this was
kicks
how
are flat.
feet click and then even like fully turning around, showing the back.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just the same thing we've seen. But That was week one baseline, right? So, like you said, a lot of stuff we had material to improve on. So let's talk about some of the technique improvement. And obviously, the earlier weeks you're going through the rehab process. So naturally, the movements might be a little slower. We're here to just look at the technique of it. Starting with breaks, like tell me what you see in your overall movements. This is the week one.
My arms are like
Uh-huh.
not moving.
Right. And it's at the bicep, right? That's a
Yeah.
big I told you about a lot. The bicep. Um,
And then my
That-
gang could be better.
Uh-huh. And then right here. So that wasn't week one, but when I say week one, I mean like the before and after, really. This was
Yeah.
probably like second or third week, but it's still that same footwork mechanic issue that we talked about.
Hmm.
And now tell me what you see in all these current state now, the after.
Definitely a lot more clean.
Right. Which your mechanics is good.
Yeah. My arms could be a little bit better, but the gain ground is great. I'm moving faster.
Right. Angles are good, right? Like shoulders.
Yeah.
These are the same movements that we've seen from the baseline. Like this is the correct footwork.
Break. Break,
Gang Brown here.
break.
Michael, you're recording this for him, but like it is pretty drastic to see. Like,
Yeah.
like
It definitely is. It's funny when we just seen this, like you did the side to side, it's pretty big. And I think it's kind of cool to see that he's not even at full capabilities to be able to
Right.
sprint yet. So it's just going to get better, actually. And that's kind of exciting too.
right. And it's because of the volume of stuff we did repetitively to make it muscle memory. Even if you increase the intensity or the speed, it's going to stay the same technique. And that was a big thing that I harped on because we were obviously in the recovery stage. I kept telling Mike, it's going to get boring doing the same thing every day. But there's a reason why we're crawling to walk to run.
And I noticed like his stands, like he's way lower, like you guys said, with his hands. Like there's some things you can see right away that he just, I don't know, it just looks like a different guy.
Right. Like we talked about the chin, the body angle of it, right? Being parallel with your legs. I know we're comparing the week one, which is the rehab, but like even with this baseline, you know what I mean? It's a huge difference. Like this is when he was healthy fully.
Yeah.
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 I want to show you the press now. This was even bigger in my opinion. So this was like the before. Tell me what you see here.
Pretty flat breaks. I'm looking down every time I do it.
Feet are pretty narrow too, right? That was a big thing we try to fix. How narrow
Yeah. Yeah, my feet are very narrow. I'm very upright for a press. Like
Right.
I'm
And like kind of like different kick length too. Like and then dragging the feet here was something I seen as well.
yeah, my feet are pretty close together.
The stride length would be different. Like this is short, this is long. And now week 10, it's just like night and day. Like talk to me what you see here.
Yeah, my stance is obviously wider.
Yeah.
I'm not looking down every time.
Yeah.
And my feet movement looks more like natural.
Right. And
more
like
muscle.
I try to put like every progression possible when doing these. So this is the pier step, the kicks, the pier to kick, right? And then this is going towards your lev. Like it's a lot more composed. This is going away from leverage, what you would do. Like
Mhm.
even like when you're going on vacation and stuff, you're working too. So
Yeah.
like, I know these were at different times, but like it was great to see the work ethic. It obviously shows on film because
Yeah.
like, right here, this is like the diamond release. Now we're working, right? So now you actually know different situations, when to apply what technique, like adding different stuff to a toolbar right here. Like these were what I was like, wow. What do you see from here, Michael?
It looks a lot more natural. I look like I know what I'm doing compared to like looking kind of like a robot. So
Very impressive
night
thing.
and day.
And then football IQ part, there was like a lot of stuff I could have put, literally so much more for football IQ. I just try to narrow it to like a few. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard this before? This?
I've never been taught this, no.
Can you kind of, is this clicking a little bit?
Yeah, no, this makes sense.
Was this in your game before, or was this like kind of like a missing link?
We rarely even talked about this.
Yeah.
So this is like pretty much my first time here.
And then these are just basic basic stuff we were trying to go over. Like the football IQ doesn't have to be schemes. It could just be the footwork. Like this is the transition phase between the backpedal and crossover. Receivers try to break right when the DB opens up. So we have to counteract that somehow. Technique stuff here too, but also like reading the quarterback drop, football IQ, right? The footwork.
About this.
Yeah.
This is like pretty much my first time hearing about this.
Any questions with that?
No, everything makes sense.
Learned a lot of new information.
Yeah, no, definitely. I didn't know quite a bit of that. And it's funny, I could have had a pick at my Guelph camp that I went to, and it would have looked really good because it was a great read. It's just I misjudged it and it went right over me. I'm like,
For the ball skill stuff, like even knowing how to track the ball, all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
So breaks, press man, you have everything they know.
That's crazy.
You have, this is us talking about NFL players and then toolboxes now.
That feels pretty cool. That, like same thing as NFL players, I guess. That's
Right.
pretty cool.
Literally the same stuff I do with my NFL guys, but he knows it in high school age versus they're like 25, 31. They're now learning it for the first time. So like this was pretty cool to see. It's like everything we taught, like he knows. And the final part is recruiting. Obviously, he mentioned that you guys have done a recruiting service before. You guys knew the basics, but I talked about it with Mike, not exactly tactics and strategy, but more so like the deeper, like the behind the scenes type of thing, the psychological aspect of it and the branding. And then it's just like you be a third person view and you see this, right? It's
Yeah.
like pretty crazy to see. Number one, a kid who has been injured, didn't play the whole last season from Canada, not the prototypical size or the look, right? It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
And these are just as a sophomore international, like I said, and you haven't even played a season with full film yet. And with the new technique. So like I'm just excited to see where we go from here. And
Yeah.
like those are like the football IQ, recruiting, techniques with the break press. That was what I had to show in the slideshow. Last couple of things to wrap this thing up. Couple questions for Michael later. But Mike, you as an athlete, what would you say to another athlete who might be on the fence about joining this? Was it worth it for you? Tell me if you would recommend this to teammates or whatnot.
Yeah, so I'd definitely recommend it. If somebody was on the fence, I'd be like, you should do it because it's online, which may not seem as good, but it's great, if not better, because you can break down each little thing. And it's pretty cool too, because you're literally getting taught the same thing as NFL players. And from week 1 to week 10, I mean, as we know, it's a pretty significant difference, all my aspects of playing football. So like I would definitely highly recommend it.
I appreciate that. And question for Michael. Now, first of all, was it worth it? What would you tell to another parent who's thinking about investing in something like this for their child?
I was definitely nervous at first because we've tried a lot of things and things are expensive in football no matter what you do at this level. And it's hard to go through the noise and pick what's going to make the best impact. And I can truly say, like, with 100% certainty that this made the largest impact for him, and especially for like DB specific techniques. For me, it was worth it because Michael was just saying it earlier too, like he could do it anywhere around his schedule too, which makes it really nice. It gets busy, he's trying to do SATs, he's trying to do all his schoolwork, he's got really great grades and stuff like that, but there's so much to do and we could always squeeze this in. It always felt kind of doable, where that isn't always the case if you're trying to meet up with somebody at an exact time or certain time. So, he was able to do this on holidays, he was able to do it here and there. And I think it just got him to that next level that we just didn't even know existed. So technique wise, way up higher, IQ higher, and just overall confidence skyrockets. So, anything can be expensive, but I'd hate to do something and then it not pay off. And this one paid off kind of like 10 times for us. Actually, to the point where, if I'm being honest, as a parent, I kind of want to do it again or do more of it when he gets even a little bit healthier. So that probably says it all, because I wouldn't want to do more sessions if I didn't believe in it. So I'm actually wanting to do that, which is probably the best indication that it obviously made a huge impact.